Long ago, in the mystical land of ancient Egypt, there was a powerful and ambitious pharaoh named Firaun. Born into royalty, he ascended to the throne at a young age after the untimely demise of his father, the previous pharaoh.
Pharaoh was a charismatic ruler who was determined to expand Egypt's territory and cement his legacy as one of the greatest pharaohs in history. From the onset of his reign, Pharaoh proved to be a wise and just leader, earning the respect and admiration of his subjects. He undertook numerous infrastructure projects, building grand monuments, temples, and cities that showcased the magnificence of Egypt's civilization. His reign was marked by a period of prosperity and cultural flourishing, and his name was spoken with reverence throughout the kingdom. However, as time passed, the seeds of pride and arrogance began to take root within Pharaoh's heart. The pharaoh started to believe that he was a divine being, chosen by the gods to rule over Egypt. And this conviction led him to demand absolute loyalty and obedience from his people. He became increasingly tyrannical, imposing heavy taxes on his subjects to finance his grand projects and military campaigns. As his thirst for power grew, Pharaoh's advisors and trusted confidants warned him about the dangers of unchecked authority. But he dismissed their counsel, considering himself infallible and beyond reproach. His ego led him to believe that he could not be challenged, which ultimately led to his downfall. Outside the borders of Egypt, neighboring kingdoms began to feel threatened by the pharaoh's expansionist ambitions. One of his most formidable adversaries was the kingdom of Kush, whose ruler was angered by Pharaoh's encroachment on their lands. Diplomatic efforts to quell the tensions failed, and war loomed on the horizon. Pharaoh, blinded by hubris, underestimated the strength and determination of his enemies. As his armies marched toward Kush, they were met with fierce resistance, suffering heavy casualties. The conflict dragged on for years, draining Egypt's resources and destabilizing the kingdom. Meanwhile, within Egypt, discontent and dissent among the populace grew. The burden of taxes and the pharaoh's just leader. As the rebellion gained momentum, Pharaoh found himself facing threats from both within and outside his kingdom. The empire he had worked so hard to build was crumbling around him, and his once loyal advisors began to abandon him. In a desperate attempt to salvage his reign, Pharaoh sought counsel from a wise sage, who told him that the true strength of a leader lies in their humility and willingness to listen to others. The sage warned Pharaoh that if he did not change his ways, he would bring ruin upon himself and his beloved Egypt. However, it was too late. The rebellion intensified, and Pharaoh's armies suffered a devastating defeat at the hands of the Kushites. The people of Egypt, tired of his arrogance and mismanagement, joined the rebellion in droves, demanding a new pharaoh who would lead with compassion and wisdom. In the final days of his rule, Pharaoh's once glorious empire was reduced to ashes. The rebellion succeeded, and Amenhotep was crowned the new pharaoh of Egypt. He ruled with humility and compassion, learning from the mistakes of his predecessor. As for Pharaoh, he lived out the rest of his life in exile, haunted by the ghosts of his past. The tale of Pharaoh serves as a cautionary reminder that even the mightiest rulers must remain humble and just, For the favor of the gods and the loyalty of the people are fragile gifts that can vanish in an instant.